Hello everybody. So today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about the basic of the series. So now I will show you how to answer. Question number 1. List first four terms of the given sequence. So now I will show you how to answer the number 1. So in this situation, I will choose about n equal to number 0, 1, 2, 3. So later that, we put number 0 going here, number 1 going here, number 2 going here, and number 3 going here. And we got the final answer. So we put number 0 in here. So you got about 1 divided by 1. And you got about 1. This one, we put number 1 in here. So you got about 2 plus 1, you got about 3. This one, we put number 2 in here. You got about 4. 4 plus 1 is about 5. And the last one is about 7. And this is the answer. Question number 2, we do the same. I will put about 1, 2, 3, 4. We cannot put number 0 in here because if we put number 0 in here, they cannot identify and this fraction does not exist. So that's why we will start at the number 1. So we put number 1 in here. So you got about negative number 1. We put number 2 in here, you got about 1 over 2. This one is about negative 1 over 3. And this one you got about 1 over 4. The next one I will put n equal to number 0, 1, 2, 3. So the first one you got about 1. The next one you got about 10. The next one you got about 100. And the last one you got about 1000. And this is the answer. Question number 2, calculate the limit of the given sequence. So for the first one, I will put about the limit when n approach to positive infinity. So we know that 1 divided to positive infinity, you will got about 0 in here. So that means at the end, they will go about 0. We do the same technique. So we divide both numerator and denominator with n. So this one you got about 1. This one you got about 1. 1 divided to positive infinity, you got about 0. So at the end, you will got about the number 1. Now we do same technique. Next, we divide both numerator and denominator with n. This one you got about number 3. This one you got about number 6. So we simplify and you got about 3 divided by 6. And you got about 1 over 2 because this one you got about 0 and 0. So at the end you got about 1 over 2. Question number 3. A rubber ball falls from a height of 10 feet. When it hits the ground, it bounces over 3/4 of the river's height. What is the total distance traveled by the boat before it stops? So now I will show you how to answer. So we know that at the beginning the boat falls from the height of 10 feet. So we will use about h is about the total of the distance. So I will use about sum. And we know the first one is about 10. Next, later that they will power back and they go up. Later that they go down with 3/4. And the next one we have another 10 multiplied with 3/4 to the power of 2, because the third one they will multiply with another 3/4 of the river's height. So that's why we have the power 2 in here. Similar for the next one. And so on in here. So in this situation, number 10 in here just like 3/4 to the power of 0. And now we can create the series in here. That should be about the summation from n equal to number 0 to infinity. And we got about 10 multiplied with 3/4 to the power of n. So in this situation, I will use about the sum of geometric progression. So in this situation, A1 that's about number 10. Oh sorry, when they go past, they go down again, so we need to multiply with number 2 in here. But the reverse one, we don't have another go up, so that means we need to minus number 10 in here. So I will calculate the sum of this one with number 2 in here. So A1 should be about 2 multiplied with number 10. And you got about 20. And R in here, you got about 3/4. So the total distance, that should be about A1 over 1 minus R. Later that we need to minus number 10 from here. And we will got about 20 over 1 minus 3/4 minus 10. And we got the final answer. And you got about 70 feet. And this is the final answer. Question number 4. Write first 4 terms of each series. So this is similar for question number 1. So I will choose about, because they start at k equals to number 1, so we need to start k equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do the same technique. We just input number 1, 2, 3, 4, go in here. So 2 plus 1 is about 3. This one you got about 5. This one you got about 7. This one you got about 9. Now we do the same technique. At k equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, the first one, you got about 1 minus 1, you got about 0. Negative number 1 to the power of 0, you got about 1. So this one you got about 1 with number 2, you got about 1 over 2. This one you got about negative 2 with 3, you got about 1 over 6. The next one you got about 3 with 4, you got about 12. 4 with 5, you got about negative 1 over 20. The star n equals to number 1. So you got about n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put number 1 in here, and you got about 2. We put number 2 in here, you got about 3 over 2 factorial. So you got about 3 over 2. 3 plus 1 is about 4. 4 divided by 3 factorial. You will got about 2 over 3. We put number 4 go in here, and we will got about 5 over 24. And the last one, find a Maclaurin series from this function sin x at c equal to number 0, when we need to at least 3 terms in here. So the first one we need to do, that's about, we need to find the function. So we need to do first the derivative of the function in here. We know that when we put c equals to number 0 go in here, then we got about 0, 0. So we need to at least 3 terms. So we need to go about cosine x, because we put number 0 go in here, you got about number 1. And that is the technique how to find the series for sin x when c equals to number 0. So the next one is about sin x, later that another one. That's about cosine x. And we create McLaurin series. That should be about the function equal to fc plus first derivative of the function at s equal to c 1 factorial s minus c. Similar for the second one. So we just put the number in here, 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 here. And we got about sine of number 0. This one you got about cosine of number 0. This one we got about negative sine of number 0. And we put number 0 go in here. And we put about negative cosine 0, number 0. This one we got about sine of number 0, and number 0 go in here. This one we put about cosine of number 0, and number 0 go in here. Now we simplify, and we got about s minus 1, s to the power of 3 over 6 plus s to the power of 5 over 120. And this is the final answer. That's it the end. Thank you for watching.